Hello. Welcome to Quackalope.
This is not a Quackalope video.
Not a Quackalope video.
Good try, though.
It must be confusing being you.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
I'm only ever on one person's channel.
Yeah. And I'm only ever on your channel. It's pretty easy.
I make introductions on both of your channels.
I hear. It's got to be hard to be you.
I'm Shira from Quackalope. That's Alex. That's Jesse. I believe that's how you start your videos.
Board Gameko, I believe.
Yeah, I'm from Quackalope.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. This is going to be our review.
Oh no, I'm from Quack and Co. Actually.
Oh, don't tell people Quack and Co. That's a secret. That's a secret.
I'm from Quack and Go.
This is going to be our review of Flamecraft, a game by Cardboard Alchemy. There's going to be a gameplay over on Quackalope's channel. Make sure to check that out. If the term tiny little creme brulee dragons sound adorable to you, this is the game for you. It sounds delicious. Is that a problem? Creme brulee dragons do sound delicious. This might be the wrong direction to go with this review.
That's true.
Neither here nor there. Flamecraft, actually, you probably know this better than I do. Flamecraft is what?
Flamecraft is going to be so I believe the artist that designed or created the Flamecraft world is going to be Sandra Tang down here. And I believe she's like kind of a professional artist when it comes to Magic the Gathering style artwork and cards. And one day, she decided to take the fearsome, ferocious version of dragons that she is an expert at doing
and make adorable little chibis.
Well, she asked the question, what if dragons existed in our day-to-day and actually were helping society instead of a bane to society? Little pets, little accessible things. And so we have Smokey, who is helping smoke meats. We have Dandelion, who goes out and catches butterflies.
We have Espresso, which you stole from me and didn't even use.
I did steal.
Cookies, making cookies.
These are by far going to be the most adorable dragons you've ever came across, and they come with cupcakes, creme brulees, and espressos.
Adorable.
In the box, they come with actual.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah. So, this the basic gameplay of this game is going to be ultimately walking around and placing your dragons on various locations around the village to either gather items from that location or alternatively enchant the location. A gathering is going to be more about getting resources and activating one dragon's ability and slowly filling up the village with dragons. Whereas enchanting is going to be adding an enchantment to a place, making the location stronger for other people who choose to gather there, as well as giving you a bunch of points. It's going to be the main way you cash in resources for points in this game, and then you're going to activate all the abilities of that game. The game is primarily a little bit of a puzzle of figuring out the most efficient sequence of go here, to go there, to enchant there, to go there, being mindful of your opponents, because if you're in a spot I want, I have to give you something when I go there, which is just slightly annoying.
In that classic,
I don't think we did any of that.
At all.
We never had too much conflict,
like sharing.
but I was certainly working my way around based off of where you all had showed up.
So was I.
Absolutely.
Like, I knew you had to leave your spot every time before my turn, so I would count on that.
And there were times during the game where I was fully willing to give something. It's just there was something that was the better location anyway, so I didn't need to.
Oh, I wasn't willing to give anyone anything.
Giving up one thing for the right spot, because the game has a nice little trigger where you going to a location often means you've just filled it and made it that much more tempting.
There was one or two times where I actually did not go to a location I wanted to because I did not want to give either of you
That sounds
item.
like a Shira problem. Yes.
No, I think that's a worldwide problem.
But the game's a nice balance of lightweight worker placement or action selection.
Yes.
A little bit. I mean,
a little bit both. Yeah.
The blocking's a worker placement
Card
style
play,
mechanic.
hand management. Yeah.
Card play, hand management. Every little region is its own micro tableau that's going to generate you brand new resources, and then a core set of 6 core abilities here in the prototype copy we're working with, which are going to do things like let you draw more dragon cards, let you score victory points if you give to a friend, or for instance, allow you to go ahead and place another dragon in town and reactivate abilities.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's going to be the core game. So, with that aspect, with those things out of the way, Shira, what did you like about this game?
It's adorable. The artwork is so adorable. The chibis are so cute. I like all the thematic elements. I like how each card is named something differently, and then the pictures go with the name. It's just, there's like Ash, there's Olive, there was Opal Wing. And they also, like, do a play on words with some of them. Like Dunkin' Dragons and Draco Bell. I don't know if it's Draco Bell.
It's going to be Taco, so it's got to be Draco, right?
Right, but Draco, I know it's Draco Malfoy.
I hear you.
So that's confusing me.
Oh, he's not in this game.
He's not.
But I agree with you completely. I mean, even using Dunkin' Dragons is a great example. The locations are all going to have specific types of dragons that have to go places, and they're like, well, Dunkin' Dragons, that's going to be all the bread dragons. And then look, just a drop of meat. Maybe you got a little like bacon and egg cheeseburger, whatever it is, along with whatever.
Dunkin' Dragons does not do cheeseburgers.
They do bacon. They do something. They do bacon and egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So
egg,
you get a little
cheese
bacon.
on croissant with
lots of bread and just a bit of meat. That's what they went
Yes.
with. I love the thematic elements. I love the
I
art.
normally do the like maple glazed donuts, maybe like a
He's not familiar with healthy food.
Yeah, no.
well, like a Boston cream.
Boston eclairs. Yeah, the Boston cream pie is going to be
If
delicious.
you've made it to this part,
Yeah.
leave a comment down below. What's the best donut to get at Dunkin' Dragons?
Yeah, Dunkin' Dragons.
We'll actually be going there within the next few weeks in Chicago.
That one?
In any
Dunkin'
case,
Donuts.
in any case, yeah. So that's going to be all. I agree with you completely on the general
Artwork.
art, the general theme. The it's very lightweight.
I don't like puns. I don't like
Really?
puns. I don't like puns.
You don't?
I don't like puns across the board.
And now he's where he says, but he found this game
Yes,
so adorable.
I found. Here's the thing, and I think the reason why I was while we were playing, I've been trying to analyze why I'm okay with puns here because I don't like them. I do not like them. I think I'm okay with puns here because the dragons are so adorable, I can actually see them working at a shop with a pun. Like, if the world existed with tiny little microcosms of dragons, of
Yeah.
course we'd have a Dunkin' Dragons. Like, we just would. And there'd be a little adorable, there'd be a tiny little pumpernickel, and a adorable cookie dragon, and they'd be doing their hard work, and they'd be doing their darn best. And who am I to judge a dragon doing his best, even if he is a pun?
I like the fact that the pumpkin could be like a flavor of coffee that Dunkin' Dragons is selling there.
Where do you see pumpkin?
Oh, it says pumpernickel.
It's
pumpernickel.
I missed it. I just thought pumpkin.
He's baking
Yes.
bread.
So, past the adorableness, I think we can all agree that this game is absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
It's delightful, visually, puntastically. Is that a word? It's not a word. No. But past the visual and thematic
Punnily,
elements.
that's a word.
Funnily enough, yeah. Past the visual and thematic elements of the game, anything else, Jesse? What do you like?
Still with the visual and thematic elements of the
Still
game,
can't
and
get
then
over it.
and then I'll move past. I have more
more to say that's not on the visual.
We'll come back.
Even
we'll come back.
even though this is a prototype, when we first rolled it out, I thought to myself, this is a very long game.
Yeah.
I actually really like the aesthetic and how they've built it out.
to be clear, he means the length
Yeah,
of the game.
I'm ready.
Physically.
I'm ready for the final. I'm ready to see the final production version because there are some things with like this doesn't lay entirely flat, which isn't too big of an issue, but it's a little bit bothersome. But I like the fact that you're able to watch this little city square develop, that your victory points are moving up and down this track, that the items that you can craft and the dragons that you're getting are from the park over here. I think that's very, very charming.
Yeah.
Other things that I like about this game, I actually found the puzzle quite endearing. It didn't last too long. I think it was probably a 35, maybe 40-minute
40-ish,
game.
yeah.
I think as you get more experienced with it, it might last a little bit longer, considering I lost horrendously
Because you forgot
Yeah.
about endgame
and drove
points.
endgame points. But I actually really liked the puzzle here. I would like to see more complexity in it.
Yes.
And I know that Cardboard Alchemy, based off of Mission Catastrophe, which is a game that I was shockingly excited for, brought so much more complexity into the game and just modularity into it through their Kickstarter. I'm expecting and hoping to see that here. But right now, with the puzzle that we have, with the 6 core basic dragons and the different places that are coming out, I enjoyed making the choice of where I'm going to move, how many resources am I going to generate, am I going for some of my victory point cards, am I getting the benefit of where I'm playing a dragon, am I going for one of these crafting locations. That
Because
was all...
It very much does have that puzzle aspect, that aspect of trying to figure out what sequence you're going to play things out in, what you're going to try to do, and then some of the dragon abilities as well, combined with the shop abilities, all give you just enough agency of, do I want more goods, do I want to swap some dragons, do I want to give up a good to give 2 points to somebody?
I like the fact that I had to make decisions.
Yeah.
I was making choices.
So I had to choose whether I wanted to fulfill basically an order almost, or if I wanted to get a whole bunch more resources and try and work towards... You made me have a really hard choice at the last. I had to work very hard to fulfill my endgame points by playing these 2 cards down, which got me 8. It locked me in 8 points.
Sure,
So
8
playing-
points plus the additional 3 from
Plus-
the dragons themselves.
Right.
That's an
So-
11-point swing.
Yeah, so I really had to make decisions, especially, and that's what I want in a game.
Yeah, and I
also,
feel-
did you notice the artwork on this?
Those coins are not final. They're not from this
but they
game.
will have metal coins.
They will have metal
available for this
coins.
game.
But there's a dragon on it.
Yes, those coins are from Dwellings of Eldervale.
I wondered why there were symbols on the other
Yes.
side.
Yes,
They
nothing
don't
to
have
do
to
with
do
this
with this
game.
game.
Well,
But-
specifically because the owner and runner of Cardboard Alchemy was the
involved
designer
with,
of
yeah.
Dwellings of Eldervale.
Not the designer, he was involved with it. Designer's
Involved
glory.
with it. I believe he collaborated on the design.
Could
Something
be, I'll
like
double
that.
check.
I could be
Getting
wrong.
off
but-
track.
In any case, yeah, and I agree with you with the decision aspect. Like, I ended the game with 6 dragons in my hand, which just has me feeling, and they just don't give you points in the game.
No.
So I feel like I
Unless
played...
you're Jesse.
Yeah, massively... Oh, that's true. That's a good point. You do get points for dragons. I feel like I played inefficiently in terms of... There's so many ways I could have done things better and thought through a little bit more of how I'm going to do this, then do this, to do that, in order to get the most points. I like this giant stack of things to go for. this is going to be the way Shira and I won when you thought you did. But I like this giant stack.
There's
of, like,
so many ways. I'm curious what they all
a ton.
are.
Here, you can start reading and have fun. But there are going to be a ton of abilities on the various just little bonuses of if you do this, get points.
Interesting.
If you do
Look
that.
at this one. So this is 1
Shouldn't have
point.
had this here.
You should not. 1 point for each shop that has a matching dragon type in it. Look how many points like this.
Oh,
That's a point. That's a point. You could have made this
point
a point.
here, a point
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of ways you can get points from that deck,
So
and choosing those and
fascinating.
augmenting it
And
out.
some are instant and some are end game, so you also have that element where
Yes.
you can play with them during the game.
I like the end game aspect. I like hiding
do
a little
I.
bit and then
That's how
not
he
knowing
loses.
that someone else is going to win. I appreciate that in games, Jesse. Just not seeing how it's going to play out. For myself, past that, I like the, let's see, so I like the enchantment, so that's going to be the whole resource engine. I primarily like just the abilities on the dragons and the shops. I think that would be most, I think it's mostly going to come down to simple, accessible, easy to teach, easy to play, thematically engaging and endearing. You mentioned you had other things?
I'm not sure all these point scoring cards are of equal weight and ease of attainability versus the amount of points they give you.
Interesting, okay.
Like having 6, he got 5 points for having 6 dragons in his hand. Because you two weren't playing the card types I needed, I actually had to work a little harder to get the greens out, the reds out, the blues out. I didn't fulfill the blues, but I was flipping through this. Some cards give you 6 points, and they seem relatively easy to attain. So I'm just wondering about the.
It's a prototype. I'm sure there's still playtesting and balancing numbers. Numbers for me are usually the last thing that comes into.
Anything else in the like section before we move on to not liking?
It was fun. I liked blocking you guys. I did like the element of worker placement that blocks other people from going somewhere.
So a little bit of a puzzle on the placement. It's not hugely. You can always go wherever you want,
Yeah,
but a
you can
little
always
bit.
work around it. But I did like taking things.
Cool. So with that, what did you not like about the game?
It was simplistic.
On the
a
simple
little.
side.
It was a little too simplistic for me.
Yeah.
But
so,
I think it's a great family game, honestly.
No, I agree. It has.
I think
it has,
Ricky might like to play it.
Oh, it could be. This is adorable. I'd absolutely love to play this. This is one where it very much is going to be a game on the lighter side. That'd be my first critique as well. Critique is a relative term. It's not necessarily a critique. I think this is a excellent gateway game. I think the visual appeal, the simple play, the simple teach, and the fact that there are meaningful choices in here, all those things combine into making this an absolutely excellent gateway game in that sense. At the same time, like you said, it's on the lighter side. I played this with my family. I'm not in a rush to pull this out at game night. I'll happily pull it out with my family and play it or whatnot. I had fun playing it here.
And I'd also ask, if you take a glance at the cover, are they selling it to you, or is it set up to be...
age. Look at the age they recommend for it. Look at the age.
The age you have to ignore. You have to ignore age. That's
Age is different.
that's a liability thing.
That's more about
That's a liability
swallowing. That's
thing.
because there's bits that you could swallow, not because of the age.
You have to go through all kinds of extra testing if you say 8+ on your box.
What about 10?
I believe 13 or 14 is the cutoff. It just goes it's a degree of extra testing. It's nothing to do with actual
Fascinating
age.
to me.
That's all it is.
Because a 10-year-old is not gonna. Typical 10-year-olds don't swallow these pieces.
Yeah, I'm saying it's just
I understand the choking hazard in doing younger kids, but a 14-year-old.
It's all that is all
I
legalistic.
never knew this.
That is 100%
Nothing to do with
legalistic.
successful,
Ignore all age
There's
ranges.
like 13 people watching this video who are like, and I didn't pick that game up in Target because I thought it was too old. No, it's nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. No, it's
Ignore
just
that.
they're scared you're going to swallow bits. No, I'd agree with the caveat. I have two caveats.
Sure.
One, the biggest request I have and the biggest thing I'm going to be looking for as a gamer that plays a lot of games, I want this to be more complex. I want the opportunity for gamers like us to sit down and experience this and explore it with maybe modular dragons that we're able to control, a little bit of asymmetric player powers, maybe regions get a little bit more advanced, the puzzle gets more advanced. Something in here I want to be a little bit more crunchy.
I wanted the village placement to matter a bit more, like almost possibly like Rondell-like, where it's like
I haven't
you
gone
can
through
move...
this whole deck, but I'm curious if they say, like, if you manage to place them out, like, side by side, if you have 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There'd
Like,
be
I want
something
things like where, like, your dragon can move 3 in a circle, and anything above it you have to pay for. I want a little bit more puzzle of the actual village
Same, I
placement
want
to
more
matter.
puzzles.
I 100% agree with that. I think and expect that the Kickstarter will introduce more than we have here, based off of what they've done.
Yeah.
So double check on that, and then along with that, I think for who they're marketing this to, primarily, it's doing a really good job at where it is.
Oh, even for like speaking for myself, this is
What
a
are they
game.
marketing it towards?
You got to think. So the artist has a giant following based off of like a creme brulee dragon, and then that spawned this whole series on Instagram. And so you're marketing towards families. You're marketing to Instagram is going to be much more of a younger population base. And so I think we're going to have some heavier gamers in here. I think it's also going to be setting itself up and positioning as a retail and kind of mass market accessible kind of intro game.
That.
And I think it's doing a really good job at that.
That goes back to the classic gateway aspect. It
Yeah.
has both it has the visual appeal, it has simple rules, a short play time, and it gives you decisions.
Yep.
Those things combine all together into making an excellent gateway game.
it teaches you some game
think
mechanics.
Splendor, think Centuries Bug Edition, think any
Yep.
game that's a solid gateway usually has those mechanics. It has visual appeal, easy to teach, and just enough interesting decisions to be worthwhile.
You've ever
people
done a
hooked.
video on top gateway games?
I think I've done Gateway Plus. I don't think I've actually ever done Gateway. Maybe I should do I have a
I
bunch
was just
of
thinking
yeah.
about that because I'm sure people would like to know.
Yeah.
Gateway
There's a
games.
bunch of solid choices out there
Yeah.
that are great. And this one, I mean, I want to play this again. I just think I'd be playing it with my family.
Yeah.
Although, going back to your point, I will be paying attention to Kickstarter. If Mission Catastrophe is anything to go by, there may be additional modules, maybe additional expansions. I don't know what else is going to show up on the Kickstarter, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm completely gut
Game
checking.
Found.
I'm completely gut checking off of what Cardboard Alchemy has done in the past, but based off of what they've done in the past, the Kickstarter for Mission Catastrophe is one of the only Kickstarters I can point to where every stage of it I was becoming more excited for a game I already liked. And if they do that here, I'm really excited to see what they produce.
I'm also curious about player count. We played it 3 players. I'm curious what higher player counts might do with the game length and some of the things like the complexity and taking places. It plays up to 5.
Sure.
Yes.
You'd be in each other's way a little bit more.
So, yeah, and the thing
actually,
is...
there's 6.
There's 6
dragons.
colors, but that's because if you look, there's 6 colors of resources, and I think they want I'm not sure, maybe there'll be a 6-player expansion, I don't know, but we do have 6 dragons, but I think that's just to match the resources.
Gotcha.
So, other things that I'd like to see that are loosely criticisms, but criticisms based off of a prototype that we have. I would like these to be more thematic. I'd love to actually see artwork, even if it was just like on the backs of them or something. I'd love to be able to see artwork for these different things that you're crafting. I like adding, smoked gorgon and displacer beef into here, and instead of just having the resources, I'd love to see a visual of what that looks like. I think that would add to the thematics of the game.
I could hear that. There's space to condense those things, yeah.
There are, and then along with that, I don't know the difference between the deluxe version and the non-deluxe version and what they're going to have accessible. I'd love to see, more dragon meeples. I'd love to see a little
dragons.
I want
creme brulee dragon.
individualized dragon meeples. They're all the same cut, design. I would want to see them
Right now with the
different.
prototype, they have this one. I really hope we have a little cappuccino cup with a dragon poking its head out of it.
I mean, honestly, they could
be a
literally
great
just
mug
sell a
design.
giant line of all of these. I'd buy a full set of every single one of these card arts in a miniaturized form. I'd buy
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
true.
would. I legit would.
That's true. Just partner with Simon and
Yeah.
they'll...
Just every single card, because each card, that's another thing, we didn't even talk about this.
Yeah.
Every single card has unique art.
Yep.
They have the same abilities. All the blue dragons, all the same ability.
Not unique art completely. These are the exact same
So-
design, different colors.
So some things are still placeholder in that sense.
Yes.
These ones, I believe, are fully done.
So
Those are still...
I think with these banners are just for these type of cards.
Yes.
I know the artwork here is not final at all, period.
But the idea of having
And
a
still,
full
it's
set...
cute,
Yeah.
even at its current stage.
So, rating and final thoughts. Sure.
I'm trying to think. What about what might not be right for other people? Have we already gone over that, or
it's interesting. So I kind of just skipped over that myself because I don't know if there's that much I could think of. It's
I can't think
it's
of
a
a lot
game
of criticism?
It's a game that's on the lighter side. That's my biggest thing. It's a game that's on the lighter side. Understand that going in. Once you're past that, if you're looking for a gateway game, this would be up there for me with Splendor, with Century Spice Road, with any of those. I think through the other ones on the top of my head. But this one very much is up there as far as having that trifecta of easy to lead, easy to play and teach, beautiful to look at, and gives you enough decisions to be meaningful. It has that trifecta. For who the target audience is, I think this is a solid choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. I can't think of anything. now.
Okay. Do you want to explain your rating system?
Rating system, yeah. My rating system is going to be ultimately a 1 to 5 rating scale. 1 are going to be straight up bad games, at least in our opinion. 2s are going to be games that aren't right for us, but we recognize that they might be right for others. Alternatively, they're good games with just too many issues to have. 3s are just solid good games. 4s are great games, and 5s are games that are so good that anytime someone doesn't like them in my game group, I'm sad because that means I play it less often. That's basically my rating system. And to that end, sure.
We've added decimals
You
on
can use
Quackalope.
you can use decimal places.
I am going to use decimal places. I would rank it at a 3.5.
Okay.
I think it's a good game. It has potential to become great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yourself?
I think I'm higher than you for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I am higher than
With
you
all
for
the
sure.
criticisms you gave, I was surprised.
Because, and I think part of the reason why I'm higher than you is because I have really high expectations off of what the final copy is going to be.
Okay.
I don't have any expectations.
I mean, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit biased because I know good things comes out of this company. I know some of the people that they have involved with production and that are backing them. I'd stick this like 3.8. Branching onto a 4 if you're a lighter gamer. If you're a family gamer, if you're intro into this, I'd be happy to hand this off to someone who, if someone looked at the box art and even for a moment went, oh my gosh, I would gift them this game without a second thought. For myself and my own collection, I want to see more complexity for it to stay. If more complexity shows up, I think I'd be comfortable putting it at a 4. If more complexity doesn't, it might be something that I pull off onto the table to play with new gamers and teach them something. And it'd be competing with games like Parks and things that I already use to do those as Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm basically exactly where the two of you are, just with the same ideas. No, I don't do points.
Decimal places.
No. So if I did points, I'd be with Cher. I'd be a 3.5 for me. It's not... The game is very much on the lighter side, and I have a hard time making it a 4 on my system for that. It is going to be a 3 for me right now. That said, going to what you said, if more things show up, if more depth shows up, even just to be clear, even out of 3, I want this game. Even out of 3, I plan on playing this. It's just going to be a family weight game for me. But it's one that if more nuance showed up, if more depth showed up, if the right module, the right expansion showed up, I can easily see this being bumped from that 3.5 to a 4. But for right now, it's going to be a 3
It
for me.
also has a place like after you play an extremely heavy game, you're like, hey, we just want to play a light, family-friendly game and talk.
Yeah.
And just hang out.
It's light, it's fun, it's gorgeous. It's Flamecraft.
Is that how you're ending?
It's a cute end, right? I like it.
Oh, you should use it.
I should use it.
You should leave that ending in.
I have no responsibility or control. You're editing this video.
Oh, well, you should leave this ending in as well.
My brain
That's your
is so
choice.
tied up with Quackalope's ending, I can't even remember.
No, we're ending on that ending. He had a whole
I
pun
like
and
that.
everything. It was really,
It wasn't
really
a pun.
good.
It
was
I
not
said
a
it's
pun.
light, it's cute, it's
That's why you
Flamecraft.
don't like puns.
It's
You
not a
don't know
pun.
what a pun is.
No, I mean, I kind of know what puns are.
It's a cute ending.
I'm just kidding around.